Today we're going to solve whole number division equations. Again, my rules of algebra. Rule number 1 is find out what you're doing to the variable and do the exact opposite. And rule number 2 is do it to both sides. So multiplication is the inverse, or another way to say inverse is opposite. Multiplication is the opposite of division. When an equation contains division, use multiplication to undo the division. Okay. Solve the equation. Check your answer. Well, rule number 1 of algebra. What's happening to my variable right here? What's being done to x? Being divided by 7. Because every fraction that you guys have ever seen is actually a division problem. So x over 7 is the same as x divided by, that's not a divided by symbol, x divided by 7. That's exactly what that means. So, what's the opposite of divide by 7? Multiply by 7. So times 7 here. Now, where do we have to do that? We have to do it to both sides. This goes away. We're left with x equals 5 times 7. 35. Wow, super hard. Now, for those of you that need to understand how this works, and you all should understand how and why this works, does anyone have any idea why these two things cancel or go away? Well, what is 7 by itself as a fraction? Do you know? Watch this. Every fraction you've ever seen is a division problem. What is 7 divided by 1? 7. So that is 7. It's just another way of writing 7, correct? So we have 7 over 1, and then we have x over 7. If you know anything about multiplying fractions, you know that one of the tricks of multiplying fractions is you can take this and divide this by 7 and make it a 1, and if you divide this by 7, you make it a 1. If you can divide both those things by 7, those reduce like that. Then you're left with 1 times x, which is x, 1 times 1, which is 1. And then we don't have x over 1 is x. So that's how that works and why that works. If you would like me to explain that a little further some other time, come talk to me. I'll be happy to do that. No. I'm going to go through this pretty fast because we've been doing it long enough that I'm pretty sure that you guys all know what you're doing. What's happening to the variable here? Ian, say that again. Multiplied? It's being divided by 6. Okay, what's the exact opposite of divide by 6? Ian? So we multiply by 6 here. We got to do it to both sides, times 6 here. This goes away. We're left with 6 times 13, which is something like, what, 78? Sure? I'll have to look. See if we can find a word problem. Found one. At Elk Meadows Park, ooh, sounds like a beautiful place. At Elk Meadows Park, an aspen tree is 1/3 the height of a pine tree. So the height of the aspen equals height of pine divided by 3. So they actually give you the formula. They give you this whole thing. And then it says the aspen tree is 14 feet tall. How tall is the pine tree? What do I have to do? How do I do this? Well, eventually, yes. Let's do it one step at a time. Well, no. What is this 14 feet? Where does this 14 feet go? What is this 14? Height of the pine tree? No, what is it? It says right there. The aspen tree is. So it's the height of the aspen tree. This plugs in right here. So we're left with, we have 14 equals, I'm just going to put P for pine, over 3. I know you're making it more complicated than it is, or I'm making it too simple or something. I don't know what it is. You guys all wanted to do math. You didn't want to just plug something in. What's happening to the variable? Being divided by 3, multiplied by 3 here, multiplied by 3 here. This goes away. We're left with P equals, what is 13 times 4? 42. 42 what? Feet. Okay? You guys handle this stuff? I'm sure you can. I told you, algebra is easy. Yep. Page 86 to 87. 2 to 28 even. And 32 to 40 even.